Bright Duty. Every student matters.
Coal and petroleum. So students, you must have heard both these names, coal and petroleum. We use them in our daily lives. They are being used by us for different uses. For example, you have cars in your homes, you have bikes, you have scooters. All of them run with a fuel. This is the fuel. Petroleum is used to obtain petrol and diesel, right? And due to these fuels, we run our vehicles or many other things, right? They are used in many ways. This is the major use that you see in your daily lives. While coal, you have not seen coal in your daily life being used, but this is a very useful industrial fuel which is used by different industries because it is a good fuel. It is used to produce energy, because whenever we burn coal on burning produces a lot of heat energy, which and that energy is used for different purposes in industries, for generating different kinds of other energies as well. You will be seeing that in this chapter. Basically, both of them are very important to us because they are fuels. Fuel is a term used for a substance which is used to produce energy, and both of these substances are used to produce energy, hence we call them as fuels. So students, let us start with our chapter. The first topic that you have to study is natural resources. Now there is a picture in front of you in which you can see there are different things that you must have seen, right? There is water, there is oil present underneath water, and this oil is basically this is the kind of oil from which we obtain petroleum, right? The reserves underwater, under our earth surface. This is where we obtain coal and petroleum. You will be seeing that too. Then you have oil is basically labeled as energy fuel. We obtain different energy fuels from our earth surface, right? Earth crust. Then wood, food, medicine, pulp, recreation, home of wildlife, rubber, cotton. This is all about forests. Forests are a very important natural resource. Basically, you can imagine yourself a forest. What can a forest give to us? It gives us wood, it gives us medicines, it gives us shade, it gives us greenery, it gives us oxygen, right? There are a lot of substances which are useful to us that we obtain from forests. Then we have rocks. These rocks are used by us to construct our homes and buildings. Then minerals. How are minerals used? Minerals are used to produce jewelry, glass, cans, ceramics. Then soils. Soil is useful to us because the agriculture is completely based on soil. We produce different food substances with the help of this soil. Then we have animals. Animals are also a resource for us because they are very useful. We obtain different things from them, such as food, wool, recreation, and different substances. So all of these, what is common to all of these? These are natural resources because we obtain all of them from nature, right? All of these substances are obtained from nature, hence we call them natural resources. Now students, you must understand that some of the resources are resources that will be present forever, but some of them will exhaust after some time, right? You cannot say that water present on earth is inevitable. It will be present no matter whatever the timeline is, it will be present forever. No, we cannot say that. At the rate at which we are using water, it is not necessary that it will last for a longer time. For example, forests, we are cutting down forests, we are using rocks, we are using minerals, we are using soils. We are basically using everything. So we must understand that there are some resources which are limited. We cannot use them as much as we want. We must understand that after some time these resources will exhaust, right? So let us start. There are two kinds of natural resources. The first one is inexhaustible natural resources and the second one is exhaustible natural resources. There are two kinds of natural resources, right? Now, these resources are present in the first one, inexhaustible natural resources, as the name suggests that they do not exhaust or they are produced back again, right? If they get used, there is a production of a resource again, right? These resources are present in unlimited quantity in nature and are not likely to be exhausted. They do not get exhausted very easily by human activities such as sunlight. Sunlight is a natural resource. We use sunlight for a lot of processes such as photosynthesis is entirely based on sunlight. If there is no sunlight, there won't be any photosynthesis, and due to photosynthesis we obtain oxygen gas, which is responsible for human life on earth, right? So photosynthesis, sunlight is a very important resource, and sunlight cannot exhaust, right? It is from sun. It is not generated on our planet, it is coming from the sun, so it is inexhaustible. Then we have air. We have air around us. Air is again an inexhaustible resource. Both of these resources, sunlight and air, are used in innumerable procedures, such as air is used to generate electricity through windmills, right? Again, air is responsible for our breathing processes. And then sunlight, we use solar plants nowadays to generate energy, right? So both of them are a kind of resources which are not going to exhaust. Now the second kind is exhaustible natural resources. Now this is the kind of resources that we need to worry about. They are not going to last forever. They exhaust. If we keep on using them, they will exhaust. So the amount of these resources in nature is limited. They are not present in abundance. They are limited. They can be exhausted by human activities. As we know that coal and petroleum, they both are being used at a very high pace all around the world. So if we keep on going on that pace, we will exhaust the amount that is present in the earth's crust. Examples of these resources are forests, wildlife, minerals, coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc. We have to take care about the rate at which we are using these resources, because they will exhaust. They are not inexhaustible. They are not present in abundance. We have to take care, right? So there are two kinds. First one is inexhaustible, which are present, which will not exhaust with time, while exhaustible resources are those resources which will exhaust if we keep on using them, right? Then now we have to start with the first kind of exhaustible resource, which is very important to us. It is coal. As I told you, it is an exhaustible natural resource, right? In this chapter we will learn about some exhaustible resources like coal, petroleum and natural gas. As you know, these are the three exhaustible resources that you are going to study about in this chapter. These were formed from the dead remains of living organisms. It is believed that around 300 million years ago, there was a dislocation of Earth's surface, due to which the vegetation and a lot of animals were buried under the Earth's surface. And after that, there were many processes that occurred, and there was the formation of coal and petroleum. You will be studying that too. So hence they were formed by the dead remains of living organisms, right? Hence we call them fossil fuels. Now coal is also a fossil fuel. As you can see, this is a picture. It is a dark substance which kind of looks like a stone. As you can see in the picture, it is looking like a stone. It is a very important substance because as we burn coal, there is the production of a large amount of energy which is used by us in various procedures, right? Now students, let us study the story of coal. Where did this coal come from? About 300 million years ago, the earth had dense forests in low-lying wetland areas. Low-lying wetland areas is basically, wetland areas are the areas where there is a presence of water, and low-lying means that there is sea, then there is land. Mountains are at a very high land, right? They are present at a very good height. Low-lying means that the land forms which are very close to the sea. They are not at a good height. They are very close, so we call them low-lying wetland areas. Due to natural processes like flooding, these forests got buried under the soil. The forests present at this low-lying wetland area, they came under and they were buried under the soil, right? As more soil deposited over them, these forests came under the earth's surface and the soil covered them, right? As more soil was deposited over them, they were compressed. They did not have enough area. They compressed in a very small area. The temperature also rose. Temperature became higher and the pressure also became higher because there was a pressure due to the soil present over them. So due to that pressure and temperature, they sank deeper and deeper, and dead plants got slowly converted to coal. Now coal is obtained from dead plants. Petroleum, on the other hand, is obtained from dead animals. There is a difference. Dead animals ultimately got compressed and they formed petroleum, while dead plants, after compressing, formed coal, right? As coal contains mainly carbon, the slow process of conversion of dead vegetation into coal is known as carbonization. As the statement says, that mainly the coal consists of carbon. It is not a pure form of carbon, but 60% of coal is basically carbon. So the conversion of dead vegetation into coal, which was a very slow process, this process is known as carbonization. So this was the whole story, how coal was formed. Now moving on to the next slide is, we have to know the importance of coal. Why is coal so important to us? Why are we using this coal? Basically, when heated in air, when coal is heated in air, it burns and produces a lot of heat energy. This is the main use of coal because it produces a lot of energy, and carbon dioxide gas, which is not that much useful, but still this is a side product. Then coal is processed in industries to get some useful products such as coke, coal tar and coal gas. These three are extensively used by industries for the production of other substances which are useful to us, such as dyes and other substances that you will be studying now. So coal is important because it gives us energy, and it gives us three important products which are coke, coal and natural gas. Alright, so moving on, coal gas, sorry, not natural gas. The first product that we obtain from coal is coke. Right, now what is coke? It is a tough, porous and black substance. It is almost the pure form of carbon. We obtain coke from coal, and this coke is basically a porous, it is tough, it is porous and it is black, right? Now it is almost the pure form of carbon. It is used in manufacture of steel and in the extraction of many metals. In class 10th, there is a chapter of metals and non-metals in CBSE board. Now in that chapter, basically when you study metallurgy, metallurgy is the branch of chemistry that deals with the extraction of metals. Metals are present in Earth's crust, right? So to obtain those metals from the crust in their purest form, coke is used in a procedure, right? Basically it is used as a reducing agent. So it is a very important product which is used in a very important process of extraction of metals which are used by us daily, right? So this is all about coke. It is tough, porous and black substance. It is the purest, it is almost the pure form of carbon, and it is used in manufacture of steel and in the extraction of metals. Now students, the second product obtained from coal is coal tar. As you can see in the picture, you can see, you must have seen this during the construction of roads as well, right? When there is a construction of road somewhere, you smell a very weird substance. That weird substance is coal tar. Nowadays we use bitumen instead of coal tar, but earlier coal tar was used for the construction of roads. It is a black thick liquid with an unpleasant smell. As you can see, this is a black thick liquid. It has a very unpleasant smell. It is used for the production of substances which are used to produce substances like synthetic dyes, drugs, explosives, perfumes, plastics, paints, photographic materials, roofing materials and naphthalene balls. You must know what naphthalene balls are. Naphthalene balls are kept inside your clothes when you put them, you put these balls in your woolen clothes when you keep them inside, so that they do not develop a different kind of smell and there are no insects present in them after you take them out again. So coal tar is basically used as an initiator, or you can also say as the reactant to obtain useful products, right? So we obtain all these important substances. It is basically a mixture of 200 different substances. It is not a pure form, it is a mixture of 200 different substances or even more than 200 substances. So it is a very useful thing, and it is one of the products obtained from coal. Then next we have is coal gas. Now what is coal gas? When we burn coal, there is a gas released, we call it as coal gas. It is obtained during the processing of coal to obtain coke. When coal is converted to coke, a gas is released. This gas is coal gas, right? So this is how we obtain coal gas. Now it is used as a fuel in many industries situated near the coal processing plants. Now there are many plants at different sites where coal is being processed. So whenever coal is processed, this gas is released, and this gas is used as a fuel in many industries situated near the coal processing plants. Now there is a picture in front of you. You can see that there is a coal mine which is releasing the coal mine gas, and it is going this way. This gas is then transferred to different industries, which is then processed, and then we obtain different kinds of energies. Through all this procedure, what are we obtaining? We are obtaining electrical energy. So this is one kind of a use of coal gas. There are different uses in which, there are different industries in which coal gas is being used, right? So what did we obtain? Firstly, we studied about coal. Coal is an inexhaustible natural resource which is used to produce energy and other important products. What are those products? The first one was coke, the second one was coal tar, and the third one is coal gas. Now coke is a very important product which is used in the manufacture of steel and in the extraction of metals. Then secondly, we had coal tar, which is used in the production of different important products such as dyes, photographic tools, construction of roads, and many other uses of coal tar. Then we are now on coal gas, the third product, and it is obtained by the processing of coal. This gas is used as a fuel by many industries situated near coal processing plants, right? So this was all about coal.